first pieces that I just really loved. And this one in particular, because I love my children, I love my sisters, I love my family, I love people until they get annoying. I don't know if that's an Aquarius thing, because I got an Aquarius moon apparently, that, you know, love people but they get on your nerves kind of thing. And that's kind of what's going on with me. And that was kind of the situation I was in back then, is love you but you're getting on my nerves right now kind of deal, you know, because you have to take space so you can self-actualize and become what you were meant to be, and fully express yourself. And I guess I'm not going to let anybody step on that. Just the fact that I'm so stubborn that I'll get on here and talk for an hour, you know, whether anybody's listening or not, you know, about just one art piece. But these three pieces are in particular my favorites out of the ones I did. And I'm not really big on abstract art. I'm not really big on doing my house in black and white modern either. But these are the ones that really spoke to me. You know, and some of this is, you know, being connected to gearheads and common folk, and think as a programmer, thinking about, well, you need to make it, you know, user friendly, that your grandma who can barely turn the thing on can use it. And then there's, like I said, you know, just like in everything, there's different levels of intimacy, there's different levels of knowledge, and there's different levels of actually connecting to other people, being intimate with other people. How close do you want to be? How distant do you want to be? How well do you want to know yourself? I'm telling you, I'm a good person, but there's a little asshole in me too, and I'm fully aware enough to know that I got a good side and a bad side. And that's why the pieces are in black and white, you know, and gray. There's different, you know, levels to to yourself. And, you know, people can mistake it as bipolar. It's not bipolar. And I'm not one person with one person and a totally different person with another. It's just that person didn't take time to get to know the other aspects of my life. So, you know, going back to that time period and thinking about, you know, companies snooping on their employees, and, you know, because there was a stage of that too, you know, where I just, I, I knew it was coming, you know, because there are employers like that think they have a right to know more about your private life than they do. And there are employers that are literally, I mean, I considered my peers at work, some of them really good friends. So, with anything, there's just different layers to it. And this piece kind of talks about that. And this cat's driving me nuts, and I gotta get off here. Because he's like in the background like a nagging wife or something. Anyway, he wants something. I fed him. I don't know what his problem is. Maybe the fact that I'm just talking. But again, different layers and different ways of looking at things, different perspectives, and you have to go back and sit down. And most people that want to have a goal or want something out of their life do sit down. Different. I think this, maybe it's just me, but I think everybody does this on some level or another. You know, some may be more like anal about it, like I am, but I do. I sit down and self reflect. Am I where I want to be? And where do I want to be in 10 years, and I don't know if somebody got me started on this when I was young, when they used to ask it in interviews, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I see, that people are actually interested in my art, that they actually respect me enough to pay for it, and, that I don't have to be rich, but I would like to be richer than I am, and be able to wean myself off disability and take care of myself. I don't like this. I'm used to being able to take care of myself. And I want to be able to um, set this up where I can enjoy my customers just like I did in studio, and them enjoy the art just like they did in studio, and me actually have time for my kids and my grandbabies, and not pinching it like I am right now, because I'm back to the grind of, I'm pulling resources from nothing to try and get this off the ground again. That I actually am somewhat at least comfortable enough to buy my grandbaby a toy and spoil him and take him to the zoo for the day. Or I would love to get to the point that I could hire somebody, teach them what I know, run a studio, because I could teach somebody and have them run it and do it the way it's supposed to be done, and be able to help people in my area. Actually, because we kind of have a, you know, situation where there's a couple of good photographers out here, but not many. And I think some of them are being overwhelmed and maybe not fully drenched in it. How do I put this? The business side of it, that maybe they're taking on too much and that we need a few more. And I would like to be able to train somebody to do that, have an assistant to help me with the web stuff, so I can do it the way that it needs to be done. And I don't have a goal of trying to turn into a one-person media company, which kind of is being expected of artists to get off the ground. Well, I've already done that grind, and yeah, I can do it, and I'm going to do it to a degree, but I also have to take care of my health and meet my own needs, personal needs, So, and it's the same thing that I was thinking about back then with this piece, and there's a part of me that's trying to wrap my mind around accepting that I'm disabled and I may not be able to do photography like I could. You know, photography is very active, and I can't be as active, and it's really bugging on me. So there is the same sadness of, letting go of one part of your life to move on to the next, and wrapping your mind around um, moving on to it, and what do you want it to be like, and what were you there. Those 5 goals haven't changed. They have not wavered. Art, kids, financial stability, you know and being independent. Those are still, in my health, are all still very important things. They haven't wavered and they haven't changed through all this. I'm just moving on to another stage, just like I was when I did this painting. And that's what this digital piece is supposed to be speaking about. You know, honoring your past, but knowing you have to move on. And speaking of moving on, I need to get off here. I think I've pretty much covered this whole thing, what this piece is about. And the next piece I'll go into, maybe I'll cut this into sections, because this next piece is about, when you've done the grind and you feel like you've been meleeed, like, and that's kind of where I'm at again. This piece really, all three of them together, it's one of the ones I actually had printed up for myself, that it really speaks to me. This one in particular I have in my living room, that, you know, you're still connected, you still belong to the whole, but you got to think about yourself too. And there's a whole, you know, climbing the mountain kind of thing that this talks about with artists, with any career where you have goals, you know, that you're passionate about. But with artists, you know, maybe it's just a little different than because you're adding that creative thing to it. That most things, the way they're set up, they don't allow for creativity in the workplace. You know, you're given a little bit of leeway, but you got to wear the same uniform, or, you know, act, talk, say the same thing and meet their goals, or you're out. And I guess some of this is about, you know, I've created different situations for other people where they could be entrepreneurs, and now I need to do that for myself, you know. And I getting being 50, I just turned 51. Oh Lord. Um, and starting over is a little bit scary, but with health problems. So I'm evaluating all that. How am I going to get myself better, and can I get myself back? But if you can't get yourself back into what you love this too. I mean, I'm an artist, whether I'm a photographer, or if I sit and draw, or if I do a digital painting, it's all art to me. You know, um, photography just happened to be my happy place because it was active and non-active, and computer and non-computer, and digital and non-digital, and personal yet not personal, you know, kind of situation. And I can't. This piece kind of gets me that way. That I'm the pulling at both ends kind of person. That, yeah, I'm over here doing this, but I'm over here doing this too, and I like for them to work, you know, together, kind of deal. So here I am, back at it, and been evaluating, well, what can I do now that I couldn't do 10 years ago, technology wise. And, you know, me, when you have a vision of what you want, or, you know, I did 10 years ago that I wanted digital. And other people took the ball, and they had more money while I was off doing photography and whatnot. Took the ball and ran with it. And now there's some, oh, well, we can make money off this, so we're going to do kind of deal. And me just kind of going, you know, it's still just about art for you in your life. And these pieces in particular speak about my life. So that's the gist of it. And I was listening to Razor's Edge, that by Saliva, when I was doing this. And if you want to go over to YouTube and give them a listen, it's a good song, but it's the same type of feel that I was going through back then. And I listened to it the other day. It's still the same tone, but, you know, I've already done kind of, you know, been through the evaluating, starting over from scratch, and, you know, the more times you do it, the better you get at it, kind of deal. So, you know, this isn't as sad for me, except for the that I might have to let go of photography the way I, you know, full on like I was doing it before. That saddens me. But I can still do some kinds of photography, You know, I can still do mock-up photography and different kinds of things. They're just not as interactive, and, you know, I can actually take the time and go rest if I need to, or if I get busy, I can hire somebody kind of deal to help. I just, what's kind of going on for me now is I'm doing things that I wanted to do 10 years ago with these pieces. One is talk about them, but the other is just putting them to rest. So, you know, I don't know, it's kind of like cleaning up your workstation kind of deal. And, you know, got to clean this off so I can make room for the new, and that's where I'm at. And that's where I was when I made this piece. And that's why the pieces, there's, you know, if you could see me right now, I'm moving my hands, you know, from inner to outer. And that's kind of what the pieces are. What you think about, what you visualize is going to manifest. And if you put the energy behind it, which I did back then, so now I have these pieces to share with you that I can put them in a system where I saw them 10 years ago, that I wanted them to be. And maybe 10 years ago wasn't the right time to do it because, you know, they're just, you know, it wasn't, you know, fully like Netflix, for example. You know, I thought Netflix was an awesome idea back when they first started. I actually got behind them right from the get-go and had them mail me a couple CDs because I was busy. And that was before they went to full-on streaming. So, you know, they had a vision of where they wanted to be, and I had a vision kind of a decade ago of where I wanted to be, and it wasn't the right time for what I wanted. Now we're getting close to. It's still kind of kind of iffy, but you know, whether it can go directly from me to your TV without you having to go to a bunch of different websites is, I guess, I don't. I want to stay independent, and that's how I was back then. That, you know, there's a part of me that always wants to, you know, even in relationships, you know, I may have been a part of a couple, but I was still my own person, you know, kind of deal going on. And that's what this piece is all about, just sorting all that out, you know, and where do I want to go from here, you know, and the next piece kind of talks about the journey. And that's a wrap up on this. I totally appreciate your support. If you would, please subscribe to one of my channels or the website and support me putting this archive together. Or the vault, as I'm calling it, where you can put it up on and help your decor and home decorating needs. And I will actually get to the point that I'm taking requests for your specific, you know, decorating needs. You know, I'm gotta, I have my own style, but in the same breath, I can do a lot of different techniques and styles. So, from traditional to digital. So if you needed a watercolor painting or acrylic or something, but you want it on your TV screen, we can do that. But that's kind of where I'm at, where I'm going with the website. I want it to be able to reach. You can view it on the phone. It looks fine, and computer, it looks best on a 1920, I think, monitor. But it should look good on the other sides. Anyway, that's the gist of it. That's where I'm going. Where, you know, when it, just like, you know, pulling up a channel on your TV, it's going to pop up the way it should. And I'm getting all the back work that I didn't get done with each piece done. Like descriptions. You know, some of the reason that my stuff has kind of sat there is because I didn't have a lot of time to write out descriptions or keywords or, you know, go look for what goes with this and this to make a little money on it on the side, you know. And here I am, I'm actually got kind of time to do that. So your support of me is greatly appreciated, so I can at least, you know, buy groceries. Because I'm telling you, this month it's kind of, do I want heat, water, or food kind of deal, you know, because the heat goes up in the winter. And, you know, I'm going to have a situation in June where I'm like freaking out about, you know, my taxes aren't actually, I'm not like an overblown individual. You know, I kept, when I downgraded to make sure that I was okay in my old age, I thought it out. So my taxes aren't crazy or anything, but they're still, it's going to be there. And so your support, even if you can donate, you know, enough for a coffee, $3, $5, $10 more if you can do it, is greatly appreciated, and is going back into to building this vault for people, and me being able to actually connect with my customers and my real fans. But any little bit of help, and if you can't do anything monetarily, you know, give me the subscribes on YouTube, or, you know, like my stuff on Facebook, kind of keep track of what I'm doing. Maybe later on you can help out, or maybe you'll actually like the service that I'm actually trying to create. Anyway, that's it for now. That's this piece, and I'll try and get to the next piece and I keep saying I'm going to keep these short, but I go a lot of time in solitude, not talking, and then suddenly, oh, I gotta talk. I can talk about this, and I'll rattle for a little while. But it's all important to me, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from. And have a good one.